Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure to inform you that the most powerful anime character, maybe in all of existence, has finally been animated. You think it's Aizen? Well, to be honest, for a long time, he's a decent character to claim has that big D energy, but no, Chair-sama. I'm half joking, but I'm half serious that this chair is legitimately one of the most powerful characters I've seen in anime. Because listen, to have a freaking chair that can restrain my... Because I thought it was pretty silly to release Aizen in the previous episode. I got it, but how the hell are you going to keep him playing by the rules? Chair-sama, the pinnacle of human innovation, apparently. The fact that he was able to do so much despite being in the chair... They would have all been dead if he wasn't in that chair. That chair is carrying around the giant dick that is Aizen. Maybe not even just personality, but the probably 20-incher he's keeping between those legs. The fact that a freaking chair is enough to hold my boy down is wild, but maybe one of the most battle shonen things I've ever seen, and I think that's just freaking wonderful. I have full live reactions over on Patreon if you want to see my mind break in real time to Chair-sama greatness. It's going to be over there exclusively. So, this is a legitimately really good episode that I wasn't expecting much from, mainly because I'm the type of person, especially when it comes to battle shonens, that once you got like the big end of the world threat, I'm like, keep the focus on the main MCs dealing with said threat. Now, obviously, by the end of the episode, we realize reinforcements coming, so it's important. But even ignoring that, like, just in general, the kind of shifts in perspectives, I like it more focused. Like, focus on the main battle, then go to other things if you have to. But they quickly made me just be like, nah, man, like, we reintroduced Aizen. By the end of the episode, freaking Grimjaw's here. I mean, they're just bringing back the whole damn cast, man, and it's fantastic. But the idea that, I don't know if I'm the only one who felt this way, and it's going to sound like I'm insulting it, but I think it works, so just keep that in mind. I do think this works. But they pretty much have a diarrhea-level eruption of eyeballs that are biting everyone. Like, it's almost like they went to Taco Bell or something, and they just can't process meat, and they just were spewing down the goddamn hallways. Because that thing was swarming, and it, like... The fact that you got a man in a goddamn chair who can just, like, push it all... In an alternate universe, I need Kubo to write, like, a chapter of, like, what happens if Chair-sama wasn't, like, pulling in and putting in the work. They would have just all been dead, right? Like, is that the assumption? Because I feel like, had you not properly nerfed Aizen, everyone, including the Quincy King, would be dead. I'm under the assumption that there's just enough big D energy going on that he would have just killed everyone and just been like, yes, now what? Because he didn't really think that far ahead and he's just too powerful. The man was getting stronger the longer he was in prison somehow, like, just amazing. But I appreciate the fact that they did bring up enough, like, disappointment, I guess would be the word I'd use. Most people were pretty upset with the idea that our boy decided to do this. But he's pretty much saying, like, listen, you guys want to beat the shit out of me, you want to do this or that, you can do it. Just do it after the battle. Because at the end of the day, as disrespectful, after everything this man's done to you and your friends, your family, like, you just have to understand this is the only option we had. And it's true, they would have all probably been dead had he not released him. But there's obviously that fear, and I had that fear. And then they introduced the concept of Chair-sama, and I'm like, okay, it's a little more safe than I initially thought. Then Buddy comes in, pierces some holes that he can see to knock him out. Knocked him out for 5 minutes, mind you. Never happened to Aizen before. And then Buddy gets killed. And then we end up with a situation where Quincy's and Soul Reapers are working together. Because at the end of the day, what's going on up there, there ain't gonna be no goddamn world left. There ain't gonna be nothing left. It's just all done. So basically, it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and the enemy is basically going to destroy everything. Who would have thought at the beginning of Bleach, after you start seeing, you know, Aizen go a little crazy, that Aizen would be the reason that world peace might actually be achieved? Because think about it, right? Had he not protected them from the diarrhea of death and given them the opportunity to come together, there would have been no conversations. And now we're going to send up the reinforcements. And honestly, this is a pretty good episode. Like, this just... it scratches an itch. It reminds you why, like, the old school kind of like 90s 2000 battle shonen style, which definitely is not the same as it is today, and I don't say that as an insult, just naturally things change. The same way, like, what you think a modern anime looks like is very different than what a modern anime from a decade or two ago looks like. But there's something about this style that just really, it clicks with me in a way that it's just like, man, this is how they used to escalate. They used to just continue to say, okay, you thought this was the end of the world, and then they just introduce 10 other things, or they bring back those characters you haven't seen in a hot minute. And as someone who read the Bleach manga up till this arc, because I never read or watched Bleach growing up, so when Thousand Year Blood War was coming out, I binged the manga up to this arc because that was the quickest way to consume, because screw watching 500 episodes. I do firmly believe that people are saying this is massively extended, fixing things. Hell, people even saying that the things that they were going to assume were plot holes are getting fixed. But it's wild because everything about this arc just feels perfect. The structuring, the pacing, and I'm just, when the next core is over, I am going to read this arc in manga form because I am truly baffled by what the hell happened, but I guess it kind of makes sense because there's so many moving pieces that if it really was a rushed ending, a lot of these moments were probably only a panel or two or a page or two maximum. That's kind of my impression, but either way, you can definitely tell one thing, that whatever people thought of the initial release of this arc when it was in manga form, it clearly wasn't, you know, a disappointment to some people because the actual ideas were bad. It must have just been that it was rushed, because what they're doing in anime form, I'm seeing manga readers, anime onlys, collectively say this is the best arc, or at least one of the strongest endings that you could currently ask for in a battle shonen. So this is some good stuff. I am very, very impressed by this, and honestly, Chair-sama might be the most powerful character. I used to think it was Yogiri from My Instant Death ability. It might actually be Chair-sama. And even though I'm half joking, legitimately one of the most impressive things I've seen in anime, a freaking chair. And Grimjaw's back. And we almost got rid of Khan. It was a really good day for Bleach, that's all I'm saying. Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. What did you think, and where the hell does Aizen go after this? You think he just chills in his chair? Let me know your feelings down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around, of course, ring that bell. Like I mentioned, we have those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout-out. So today we got Lilylai, Hugh Anderson, we have Sleepy Stump Park Knights, Rakanora Snip, Andrew Huddleston, Karsten Steen Jensen, Pills Christian, Jackson, and we also have Etonian Mitchell. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. You all have a good one.